After we have analyzed the lashes and placed the model on the couch, the next step is cleansing. If your client has makeup, for example, foundation or powder on the eyelids, it is necessary to cleanse it with foam and then wipe the eye area with a salt solution. Next, be sure to fix the false brows as we don't work with them. If they suddenly turn out to be twisted or have creases, it will not be possible to fix it. That is why I try to exclude any possible mistakes from the very beginning. In order to achieve high quality application, you need to adhere to a number of important rules. First, the shields must be glued to the skin. This means that there should not be any bubbles under the shield. Otherwise, it will put pressure on the root zone, which can lead to creases. The shields must be firmly adhered to the skin without any air bubbles underneath. Avoid pressure on the root zone. The next rule is that the shields should be placed along the root zone. This means that the distance between the shield and the lashes should be no more than 1 lash. Also, try to place the shields symmetrically. Do not forget about the careful working out of both the outer and the inner corners of the eye. Pay attention to the tension of the eyelashes. This determines extra sags and air pockets. It is also important to place the eyelashes in a strict parallel. It may happen that one eye is laid out at an angle of 90 degrees and the second eye's lashes go to the side, creating a fox effect. The final result in this case will turn out to be asymmetrical. Use an adequate amount of adhesive. By observing all these rules, you will create a really perfect look. After finalizing the layout, we move on to the application of compositions. In this case, I chose the safest mapping. The first and second zones will be located up to the middle of the shield. The third zone will be located a little above the middle. We've got no right to make a mistake, because it will be extremely difficult to correct kinked eyelashes. Therefore, it is better to use the safe maps, carefully work through the root zone, and apply the composition in even lines without any wavy transitions. This allows us to achieve the result we planned. If the composition pours away, be sure to correct it with a wet brush. Before moving to the second eye, I recommend using compensators. They press the lashes so that all the hairs remain in one plane and do not move away. You can use not only classic compensators, but also the so-called lamy cobwebs, clouds, or wisps for lamination. Any convenient option. The main thing is to securely fix the eyelashes. At the end of the exposure time, check the readiness of the eyelashes. If they are ready, you can safely remove the composition. In this very case, I actually added and spreaded a little bit of composition on the tips, because the model had quite fluffy eyelashes. Without it, the fluffiness would have remained. I apply the second composition quite abundantly, evenly distributing it along the entire length. Why? Even if I did not spread the composition, I would still apply it up along the lashes, because porous lashes can absorb the composition and the lashes would raise. To protect yourself and the client, I recommend applying as much composition as possible on the second lash line. This way, you will be sure that the second composition layer has completely neutralized the first one. Do not be afraid to apply the second layer higher. There is nothing wrong with it. As you can see, I lift the lashes and carefully position them in a single, even plane using compensators.